Hello, welcome to another S.H.Figuarts review. S.H.Figuarts new standard figure series incorporates about S.H.Figuarts art and the theme pursuing cast expression through human action. This is Star Wars Stormtrooper. It says Stormtrooper in English, it says Stormtrooper in Japanese, and it has the Star Wars font and the ruined by the TM logo, but you know, in the gold style that's similar to the title screens and stuff. Metallic style box, top of the box, bottom just generic information. And side of the box, which is pretty neat, Stormtrooper image of the figure right there, posing. You got Tamashii, Bandai, Lucasfilm Limited, and Disney. And here it's what I'm gonna assume is the side of a Star Destroyer, maybe. Right there on the side, I think it's a Star Destroyer. Darth Vader figure has the same thing in the box as well. Standard silver backing card inside, and on the back you got Stormtrooper different pose, telling you to buy more than 4 Stormtroopers, so that's 5 there, and 2 with Darth Vader. However, in Hong Kong right now, if you want to buy a separate Stormtrooper on it, people are selling them as a set: Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, and the First Order bonus stage of Death Star. And you cannot buy this because the shipping amount of Stormtroopers and Darth Vader is the same. For every one Darth Vader, there's only one Stormtrooper. It is kind of tough at the moment to just get a Stormtrooper until the Hong Kong stock comes arrives in Hong Kong, or other shops that are selling Stormtroopers on their own. Right now, if you just want to buy a Stormtrooper on his own, if the seller has taken the 3 boxes apart and just want to get the Stormtrooper, they are selling it for insane rip-off prices. It was like $600 for one Stormtrooper. I'm like, fuck. So yeah, go away. If you want to take a closer look at the box art, photos of the instruction manual and the figure, please feel free to head over to the Facebook or Flickr link in the video description below. Here's a Stormtrooper. Apart from the fist hands already on him, he has one of the Stormtrooper blasters, a two pointy hand for each side and relaxed hand for each side. Yeah, that already sucks for most people in terms of Figuarts accessories. Now, you might be thinking, well, it's a Trooper, it just comes in a small size box, doesn't have a lot. Yeah, and so did come out the Drive, and some of the few other figures that have come out recently. It's just just one figure and not much to go along with. However, with S.H.Figuarts, I'm used to the quality where there will be a separate hand for the Stormtrooper pointing and going, halt, or stop there, or look, there's the princess, and whatever. And there will be a separate hand where the finger is slightly curved so it actually fits inside the trigger slot or trigger hole of the blaster. We do not have that here, so that's already one markdown. And this isn't exactly the cheapest Figuarts out there. So that's, accessory-wise, is kind of abysmal. Another thing, I want to compare him to the model kit, which is way cheaper, but has a lot more stuff. The model kit also has way more hands. Actually has a little gun pocket, and actually comes with a little blaster. So it would be nice if this Stormtrooper came with a little blaster, but nope. Tough luck, you're not getting it. But is the figure itself any good? Well, let's take a look at pretty much apart from the hands, the only piece of accessory, the E11 blaster. Forget the name of these things. Star Wars fans will be killing me right now. The Stormtrooper blaster that's been going on for years. My gun's fine. It's just a single color plastic. There's no paint on it whatsoever. Which again, I'm pretty sure there's more paint than just black on these blasters. Well, from what I recall from the video games anyway, like Dark Forces, you hold the blaster, there's definitely a shade to it, but nope! So, Christ, even the Riot Trooper had more stuff in it, and it was way cheaper. At least its accessory can actually, there's actually an articulation in the accessory of the Riot Trooper, from Kamen Rider, for those who don't know. Okay, so, articulation then, double neck joint, so up, down. Well, you can excuse it, it is a Stormtrooper. The head joint can move a lot better than the model kit. There's a higher neck gap. The model kit, the head was pretty much just sitting snugly. So while it could move, it couldn't move as much as this. Although one would think, actually this is moving pretty well for Stormtrooper helmet. But some people might think, well, what if you had an extra joint in the neck that can pop up a little bit more? But it's good enough. Little rotating socket inside the torso for the shoulder to move around. The shoulder pad is one of the newer styles of S.H.Figuarts shoulder pads that have been popping up quite a lot recently. It's got a little arm, a little ball socket on the end, so you can do quite a lot of articulation here. Do mind, the plastic here seems quite soft, a bit soft, so try not to snap it. You got like a really weird arm underneath, it's super tiny. So up, down, of course there's full rotation. And then you got the rotation joint here, full 360 degrees, and then double. Even though it does have a double elbow joint, the armor does block it, but that's not the fault of the figure, it's the fault of the suit. And there's an extra rotating joint down here. They do have little folds in there, which is kind of cool. And the hands on little rotating arm and ball socket. Torso joint. Double ball joints. Actually, no, it's not ball joint, but there's double joint going on. And so up, down, sideways, sideways. So quite a lot of movement here. Definitely way more than the model kit. However, once the Stormtrooper looks down, if you want him to look back up again, he can't. And you look at the back, you realize that the top joint is a lot looser than the bottom joint, meaning that you gotta sort of move the top joint first, move it back so it can actually do that. So that's kind of annoying. And the bottom joint is kind of on the slant backwards, which makes sense for Stormtrooper armor, I guess, but it's annoying in terms of being a figure, which is just a flat joint. Soft, loose belt piece with a little thing on the back. That's good. Leg has a little ball and socket joint, so no, it doesn't go down. But full rotation here, up, very limited up, down, up-ish, back-ish. Very limited indeed. You can rotate the leg down like that and push it up, kinda. But that looks a bit weird. Okay. Double knee joint. Again, armor blocks a lot of the articulation. So, foot is on little double swivel arms, and toe joint can move up a little bit. Not too much. Can it go up more? No, definitely stuck. So. Let's either kick this Stormtrooper, see if he can, and yes, he can again. So, yeah, there we go. Psh, lame kick. Before we move on, I do have to point out one thing. In the instructions manual, it said that these two pieces might have a tendency of having its color fade away, which is a big no-no for S.H.Figuarts, especially these days. Back then, I could forgive them, but you'd think they would fix it by now. Second of all, the model kit has a white piece. The white plastic in the model kit is perfect. You don't need to paint it. It looks exactly like a Stormtrooper would. That's because, well, the Stormtroopers back then, they were probably plastic pieces used for the armor anyway. So I don't know why they had to do that with this plastic. And overall, the plastic here, overall the paint is nice-ish. However, this leg here, yeah, this leg is pretty much a pretty bad condition where it looks like they use white plastic and then they use white paint over the white plastic. So I don't know how clear you can see it here, but I can just, yeah. It looks like that some of the paint has I don't know how, if you can see it on the camera, got that right on the focus point, but let's see, it's first light, second light, if I rotate the light a bit away. The paint here, while it feels smooth, it definitely has, when I look at it, I can see little bits of bubbles. Not bubbles that pop up, but like little greyish dots where the paint either didn't dry evenly or just didn't, well, just wasn't right. And on top of the helmet here, there's a little scar white line over the black, which is not good. And these little paint details, a lot of them seem to be slightly out of line, so which is kind of annoying. So, just for comparison, there's the model kit, which is, well, they still call it a 1/12 scale, but you can see it's a lot bigger. The colouring of the plastic is very similar, but this one's a bit more bluish. Of course, with the model kit, you have to paint the details yourself. However, a lot of the details are very easy to paint because you can paint the bits before you assemble them. For example, the dots here are a separate black piece of plastic underneath the tummy plastic, so you can paint it first. It's got these little dots that you can just put paint around it, and once it's dry, just slot it in. So are these bits as well. These bits you can paint it easily. The eye piece and the piece on top are just black piece of plastic, so you don't have to paint that. And on the back as well, these pieces are separate, so you can paint the silver on there easily. So the hardest bit to paint are the little dotted lines there next to the jaw, and this scrape and these scrape, but you know, it's easy enough, so you can do that. So of course he also has the blaster there, which has a reloading clip, a pouch for holding the blaster, and this guy also comes with replacement belt pieces, so you can swap which side you want the blaster holder to be on, or you can insert 2 blaster holders if you have one of these figures. He also has a big sort of sand trooper desert rifle that you see in the movies, again with reloading clips and a little bit of assembly required. Has a tiny blaster pistol. Has an extra spare set of leg foot joints, so you can put that in there. So it's like a round smooth joint instead of the white plastic they put in there, which moves just fine. No, I have no problem with it. You can see their hands. He's got a gun holding hand with the finger in trigger position, a pointing hand like you dare, a fist, another gun holding hand, so he can hold guns in both hands, and a relaxed hand. So yeah, you see, he comes with a lot of stuff. He also comes with a 2 identically printed sheets, one's a sticker and one's a decal. And another plus side of this figure is that he has a rubber bottoms on his feet, so it makes him stand a bit better. This guy has a matte finish at the bottom of his shoes, but they rub okay, but obviously the rubbery plastic here is a bit more resistant. So, by the way, if you haven't seen my video, I also painted I got 6 of these. So there's a Shadow Trooper. Just gonna have him stand straight. I also painted a SpongeBob Stormtrooper. Oops, dropped a few things. A Digger Trooper. People probably will know what Digger is. I did do a video on who Digger is before, so you can check that video out. Just dropped a piece. I did a Kamen Rider Trooper, and finally I also did a Iron Trooper, which I actually really like the color. If I can get the S.H.Figuarts for cheaper, I'll do all of these designs on the S.H.Figuarts, and I think that'd be pretty cool. Oh, and finally, the S.H.Figuarts also, the model kit also comes with a stage with a little foot grip that you stick the foot in, and this little piece there, you can like move it around and rotate it whichever way around depending on how you're posing the figure. So yeah, S.H.Figuarts seems a pretty not as substantial. Obviously with the model kit you got to build it yourself, and the articulation on the figure is a bit better. But the model kits are very easy. You don't need any glue. You don't have to paint if you don't want to. But you know, obviously the helmet's going to be missing a bit of detail. Other than that, it's pretty good. Also, it's way cheaper. You can get 3 of these and for the price of only 1 of these. So yeah. S.H.Figuarts Star Wars Stormtrooper is probably the best Stormtrooper figure out that you can get at this scale. There is of course the Black Series Stormtrooper if you're living overseas and you can't wait, or you want something cheaper, because obviously this is a Bandai product, so shipping over to America or other Western countries will make it cost a bit more. I mean, it costs a bit more than the Black Series anyway, plus the shipping. And if you want something a bit cheaper, then by all means go with the Black Series. However, if you saw my review of the Darth Maul Black Series, you know that I didn't like the Black Series at all. Especially when I could in Hong Kong, I can get the Black Series figure for roughly the same price as one of the cheapest or mid-range S.H.Figuarts. I'm thinking, well, why would I want to get this if I can get some? Why can I get that? And, you know, not get S.H.Figuarts instead. S.H.Figuarts has more accessories, more hands, and just overall better movement and quality. The Black Series itself isn't bad, but for the price, it's bad. It's pretty expensive in Hong Kong anyway. Maybe over there you can get some Stormtroopers for cheaper. Who knows? But just because this is the best Stormtrooper figure at this scale that you can get doesn't mean it's without its problems. Like I said, the paint problems and the accessory count is abysmal. It might be the best Stormtrooper figure, but it's a pretty underwhelming S.H.Figuarts release. Just like Mario, yeah, maybe it's the best Mario figure out there in terms of all the Mario figures, but for S.H.Figuarts it seemed pretty annoying and kind of lame in certain aspects. I got a lot of flack for that because, you know, Nintendo has powerful fanboys. Not powerful, just aggressive fanboys. So who knows, maybe the aggressive Star Wars fans are going to complain about this video and downvote it because I said, oh, there's something wrong with this figure. But hey, we must complain and demand more from these companies that make billions of us so we can get the product that we deserve. So yeah, if you like Stormtroopers and you really like S.H.Figuarts, you might want to wait. If you don't mind and you just want some cheaper Stormtroopers, you can get the Bandai model kit. Which is obviously, it's not the S.H.Figuarts scale, but they did release Darth Vader. They've also recently released C-3PO and R2 with the R5 droid, I believe. And they've released quite a few Star Wars vehicles, which are obviously a different scale, but those model kits are pretty nice as well. You don't need any painting skills, and it already looks nice. Obviously, if you paint it, it'll look even better. So, yeah, if you don't mind building yourself, or you don't have a particular scale that you're interested in, by all means get the model kit. If you like the S.H.Figuarts scale, you might want to wait for the price to drop down a little bit, because right now it's really hard to get the Stormtrooper on its own. They did just announce Darth Maul. They're going to be releasing Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi version. Luke Skywalker will have an extra head of Darth Vader without the helmet, and he also has an extra face when he's on the Jabba sail barge with the hair flowing past him. And it looks like it's going to be the same technology that they used for the Michael Jackson, where they just print his face on the figure. So who knows if they'll release more S.H.Figuarts. I hope they release an S.H.Figuarts version of the model kits they have now, for example the R2 droids and stuff, so it'll be better scale to the figures. So no, a decent figure, but the price should be a lot cheaper for it to be justified. Subscribe, suggest, and comment below, and of course take care and have a nice day. Bye. I almost forgot to mention that the paint is, they're so worried about it that there are actually two tiny pieces of tape that they tape underneath the, they tape sort of just stick in here, two pieces of small transparent plastic to protect the paint from rubbing during shipping.